Yo, what is up everyone, Jay here with another Fire Emblem Heroes video, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the new main series banner slash mythic banner, kind of, that was just revealed, and I think this is the midpoint banner of the current book, I think, so yeah. And it is Binding Blade, which is very surprising. I mean, I knew there was a chance Binding Blade would get something, and I'm happy for the fans, of course. I do like Binding Blade to a degree, but it's just really surprising that Engage hasn't gotten a banner since January. It's kind of crazy, because we're already in June. So at this point, I'm kind of convinced that they're just going to be dropping a lot of Engage characters on the summer banners, which I'm not complaining about. I would love to see that. Love to see some of my favorite Engage characters on there, but it's just really surprising how they marketed Engage in Fire Emblem Heroes. You know, it's a chance to do it. It's almost like they forgot they dropped a new Fire Emblem game this year, you know, because we haven't had an Engage banner since January. That was the one with Chloe and Heior. So it's kind of surprising, but yeah, happy for Binding Blade fans. It's just, I don't know, maybe they're taking a different strategy this time instead of, you know, the past couple years with Three Houses getting so much and kind of spamming it in our faces, you know, them getting a lot of stuff. So maybe they're kind of chilling with Engage, but it almost feels like they're not doing enough with it. But yeah, anyways, let's focus on the Binding Blade banner, and the first unit on the banner is FIR. I'm going to call her FIR. I know some people say FIR. I'm pretty sure it's FIR. That sounds better anyway. But yeah, she's the ascended hero of this banner, which is surprising. I don't have anything against FIR. I just kind of wish maybe it was someone else like Corel. I know I was talking to a few people in my server about that. Corel would have been really cool. I mean, not just as an ascended hero, but like getting Sword Saint Corel, which is Fire Emblem 6 Corel, would have been really cool, but we still don't have him. We only have the demon version from Fire Emblem 7. But instead, his niece is going to be getting an ascended version, and you know, FIR she's decently popular in FEH, decently popular character. You know, she's a cutie sword girl, so can't go wrong there for intelligent systems. But yeah, she's a sword infantry unit, and she's a new god sword. So whenever a new sword infantry, shiny sword infantry comes out, my brave Marth self's heart kind of aches a little bit. But yeah, she comes with Vassal Saint Steel. This gives her -1 cooldown at start of turn if she's alive, and she can also grant cooldown count -1 to herself if it's at maximum value, so basically times pulse, which is very easy. So it's basically -2 cooldown for free. At start of combat, if she's alive, she grants +$5 stats, and further inflicts speed defense -X on the foe, X equal to 11 minus the foe's max special cooldown count value times 2, minimum 3. If the foe does not have a special skill, penalty equals to 3. So let's say they have, let's do the math here. So let's say they have a special of Aether, so 5, so 11 minus 5, no, 5, you do multiplication first. So 5 times 2 would be 10, 11 minus 10 is 1, of course, times 2, so that would be 2. So yeah, was that right? It said minimum was 3. So maybe I'm tripping. I'm just, okay, I can't do math, guys. But anyways, you've seen this before on all kinds of weapons where you have, you know, stats depending and effects based on the foe's special and their maximum special cooldown. And then she also reduces damage from the foe's first attack by 40% during combat, for just the first attack. And then also if she has more speed than the foe, greater than or equal to the foe's speed +5, she also has special cooldown charge, or basically no guard during combat. And then also if she's alive, she grants the ability to have more special cooldown after combat -1, so basically the mini special spiral. So this weapon's pretty cool. It's not like anything new that we haven't seen on any kind of sword unit, I'd say. You know, we've seen lots of swordies and units in general that have tons of stats and also have so much special spam. We had this with Felix and a couple other units, so our weapon's of course very good, but I don't think it's anything like insane. We have Marissa in the free-to-play pool who kind of does this with the cooldown counts. But yeah, very solid weapon. She comes with Glimmer, attack speed, finish, and then a tier 4, new tier 4 skill, physical no follow-up. So I was waiting for them to finally release no follow-up tier 4 skills, because no follow-up is such a good skill. And obviously the B skill, the B slot is very competitive, and we also have no follow-up in the seal. So now we have physical, no follow-up. This inflicts speed defense -4 on the foes. You get extra stats, and then also has the no follow-up effect, and also the ability to reduce the percentage of foes' non-special damage reduction by 50% during combat. So example, if the damage is 40, it would be 20, or 45 to 23. So we've seen this kind of effect before on Kade and Lind. Shout out to my girl. We've seen this before on Duo and Lif. So a lot of units have, Young Soren also has this as well, having the damage reduction halving. So that's really cool to see this skill, and definitely going to be coveted, not just in general, but for arena, of course, as well, to score high. So physical no follow-up is crazy, and you know they're going to have magical no follow-up to inflict res debuff. So that's really cool. Definitely a very good skill for sure. You know, for like units though, like I'm thinking about using this for Brave Marth, but obviously he already has no follow-up on his weapon. So the people who already have no follow-up on your weapon, you could run this and get the extra stats and the damage reduction, you know, halving, but you kind of waste the no follow-up effect. So it's almost like, I don't know, it's almost like a disadvantage, but still a really cool option for units who don't have no follow-up like FIR here. And then she comes with attack speed Oath 4. So, you know, pretty standard kit. She doesn't really come with any new skills except for the B skill, but of course that's going to be really amazing for a lot of the sword units that don't use no follow-up or don't have Arcane Devourer, so that's pretty cool. So that's Ascended FIR, definitely one of the newer, you know, the new better god swords, or, you know, sword infantry tanks in general. And then next is her boy Noah. So Mercenary Errant, it's cool to see him because Noah, he's a pretty Chad character, honestly. He's got, I've always loved his portrait in Binding, but he's got one of the cooler portraits. He just looks really like smug, knows what he's doing, and his art is pretty good here as well. So he is a Lance Cavalier as expected, and he actually comes with a PRF, so I'm glad he's not the demote. So yeah, Ilian Merc Lance gives him -1 cooldown at the start of turn. If the number of adjacent allies is less than or equal to 2, he grants dodge and neutralizes foes' bonuses during combat to unit and support partners within 2 spaces of unit for 1 turn. So he can only do this if he has a support partner, which is kind of a hassle, but it's not that hard. You don't even have to be, you know, as support with someone. Just as long as you're supported, he can also stop the buffs. And then yeah, I think the dodge is also tied to that, I believe. Is it, or is it just the buff notification? Not sure. It might be just a buff notification, but either way, this weapon's pretty solid. And then if number of adjacent allies to Noah is less than or equal to 1, he grants +5 to all his stats during combat. He also deals true damage, 50% of his attack, so that's pretty good. So this weapon is based off him, you know, being supported with people, which I guess kind of fits with his personality if you've played Binding Blade. So Ilian Merc Lance is pretty solid. He comes with Luna, Flow Guard 3, which is nice to see another, you know, flow skill in the regular pool, and then he comes with Alarm Speed Defense, which is in Kanto. We've seen the alarm attack speed on Earth 2. So yeah, Noah's pretty cool, you man. You know, so he's not just a regular Lance demo. He actually has PRF. So yeah, so it's cool to see Noah for sure. And then the next unit is going to be, you know, I mean, these Binding Blade characters, they're decently popular. Like I played Binding Blade and I like all these characters. So next is Dorothy. She has one of the funniest, she's one of the funnier characters, honestly. Devoted Archer, and she is also demoted. So she's devoted and demoted, I'm pretty sure. So she is a bow infantry unit. Nice art for sure. And then she comes with, yeah, this is definitely demote material. Defier's Bow, which basically is like the defense reversal. So basically if the foe has a defense buff, you can just kind of punish him for that. But this is definitely not very good bow if you want to really invest into her. Definitely want to replace this with something else. Ardent Sacrifice, Speed Res Ideal, which we haven't had on a demote, I don't think, and then Attack Res. Oh, so you can tell she's going to be a lot of, probably very fast, and also have really good resistance, or like at least like resistance in the 30s for sure. So there she is. And then the last unit on the banner is Heior, the new mythic hero, which is kind of crazy because we just got Legendary Hinoka like, you know, a week ago. So now we have the next mythic, and it is Innocent Goddess, innocent quote unquote. Heior, which we're trying to learn more about, you know, Sather's little sister, and she is a green infantry mage, and she's an Astro Mythic just like Sather. And you guys are going to see Heior here basically makes Astro Season even more of a joke. I mean, not that it was a joke, but she kind of, like, this assist that she has is insane. So there she is using that on Sather, and now she can quad, and you're thinking, how can she quad? It's because of this assist, which we'll get to. But yeah, Heior, which is the name of her weapon as well, grants -1 cooldown if rally assist or skill is used by unit or target's unit, inflicts attack speed defense res -4 and guard on foes in cardinal directions of unit and target to the next actions. And if unit initiates combat within 2 spaces of an ally, grants +5 to all stats, deals true damage based on their attack by 50% of that, and then also reduces damage on the foes for the attack by 30%. So pretty standard weapon in terms of like the, you know, stats and whatnot, the damage reduction, but she also inflicts guard, which is very nice. And then the Gold Serpent, this is what's going to make her kind of crazy in my opinion. Definitely one of the best assists in the game. This is wild, and it kind of spoils who she is if you guys are paying attention to the story. I mean, I'm barely paying attention to the story, but you can tell that she's going to become GULLVEIG eventually, because it's called Gold Serpent. But yeah, this grants so many effects to the unit and target ally for 1 turn, not just the target, but herself as well. So from turn 1 on, she grants attack speed plus X, X equaling the number of turns times 2, maximum 8, and then from turn 2 on, she enables Kanto 1, and then from turn 3 on, she grants Treachery, and then from turn 4 on, she grants Dual Strike. So obviously with these effects, they're not all at once, but the fact that she can inflict these, or give these for every turn, is kind of wild. So Kanto for turn 2 on, actually no, What am I talking about? It is all together because of from turn. Yeah, so never mind. It's not. Forget what I just said. These are all together eventually once you move on farther in the turns, because obviously this is a time-based book, so you know they're doing it off time and how many turns there are. So that's cool connection, but this is ridiculous. So turn 2 on gives Kanto 1, then the next turn 3 on, you get Treachery, which is going to be insane true damage you can add to yourself, damage boost. And from turn 4 on, you grant Dual Strike, which is basically the Brave effect to you know, yourself, and then you also get another action. So it's like to change fate, but even more cracked. So yeah, Gold Serpent is no joke. She comes to Remote Sparrow and Magical No Follow-Up, which is just the magical version of the physical one we saw on FIR, and then Panic Smoke 4. So yeah, she can abuse so many debuffs, she can abuse so many effects, and like people, Treachery isn't that common, but like whenever you use it, it's very, very strong because it adds true damage based on your buffs. So that is really crazy. And then Kanto's always good, and the Dual Strike, I mean, come on, man, like just giving someone the triangle attack dual strike thing that we've seen on Cordelia is kind of crazy. So Gold Serpent is definitely one of the best assists in the game, and you have to watch out for her on defense because like that's the crazy part, because she's an Astro Mythic, right? So like she's gonna make Astro Season even easier because it's already Elamine. We have so many solid Astro Mythics. I mean, none of them are really that bad, but Elamine, of course, you know, shuts down so many teams. And then you have Heior here who can just destroy you. Because even if you have like a really bulky far save tank or some kind of save tank in general, she might just be able to kill you because she can quad or double you, or let her allies double. Like slower allies can just quad or brave hit. So that is really insane. The new story chapter is Ouroboros, of course, because we're still doing the snake thing. I'm tired of these snakes on this plane. But yeah, Saul is the instant demo. You can see him right there. So that's kind of cool to see base Saul in the game finally. And then we have Murdoch as the GHB, one of the generals of Burn from Binding Blade. So yeah, that's the banner. Really interesting, honestly. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to skip this, but at the same time, if you're a competitive Aether Raids player, you might want to pick Heior up because she's crazy with that assist. Like I said, Astro Season's already pretty easy, I'd say, with Elamine. Like whenever I play Astro Season, you know, I don't have to worry about Embla, don't have to worry about Winter Marth getting shut down by Embla, and you have Elamine, who's just so good, and now you add Heior to the mix, who's just going to be an insane offensive support unit, giving people so many effects at once. I mean, obviously you have to, you know, play. If the match is shorter, then obviously you won't get those effects. But generally speaking, some Aether Raid matches can't take more than 4 turns, and like when you get to that point, Heior's just going to give so much stuff to make it really easy. But yeah, so that's a pretty insane special, and that's the banner, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below. I think it's pretty cool. I'm happy for Binding Blade fans. It's just very surprising we still don't have an Engage banner since January, and it's June already. So I'm crossing my fingers, saving my oars for sure for the Engage summer banners, because I would love that if they do like Summer Tamara or Summer Citrine or Summer Lapis. Like I like too many Engage characters, so if they drop any of those, I'm definitely going in. But yeah, this is a cool banner still for sure. You know, it's just kind of weird. I think there could have been some better choices, but Heior I think is definitely the star of the show with her Gold Serpent assist. But yeah, that's the video, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Please stay safe out there. Peace out.